Here's a really nice finger picking lick that some beginners can learn, because this is mostly just centered around the D and the C chords. So it sounds something like this. So that's the part I'm going to show you, and it's, like I said, basically your D chord and your C chord, okay, with a little modifications and some suspended notes thrown in. And then after I show you the notes on the left hand, we're going to zoom in on the right hand, and I'll show you note for note what strings I'm picking with which fingers, so you can get that same, same sound, okay? So to begin with, let's go to our D chord, and let me show you the little pickup I did. It was like, that's the little intro to this part. So all it is open B, then you play the 3rd fret of the B string, and I'm hammering it on, so I'm just kind of letting the open B ring, and then I'm laying a finger down. Maybe your middle finger is fine, and then play your open E. So it's open B, 3rd fret, open E, sorry, and then open B again, 3rd fret, E, B. Okay, that's it. And then we're going to go for our D chord. So for you beginners, I hope you know a D chord. That's pretty basic. We're going to get D to C. So if you don't know your D chord, you can always go to nextlevelguitar.com and check out. They have a whole list of all your chords and fingerings and things like that. So your D chord, but we're doing a modified version of a D chord, like I said. So instead of playing a full D chord, I want you to lift your first finger off of the G string and let that G string be open, okay? So you're only playing those 2 notes off of your D string. So from there, we'll alternate back and forth between the suspended note and the regular D chord. So your suspended note is the one on the 3rd fret of the G string, and we're going to use our pinky finger to play that note. So you've got your middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the E, your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and then your pinky finger will be alternating from that suspended note. G to F sharp, G to F sharp. Okay? So you're going to be doing this. Don't worry about what my right hand is doing yet. Just get that suspended thing going on. Okay, it's going to sound funny at first till we get the notes in. Okay, so we're going off of the suspended D. Right? We got that part. Now your first finger is just sitting here doing nothing, right? So I want you to take your first finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the A string and play that C note. Now while you're holding that, you're still going to do the suspended thing, where you lift your pinky up and down. Now from there, I want you to go to regular D chord. So go back and place your first finger down on the G string at the 2nd fret to play the D chord. Go back from the D chord, lift your first finger up, and go back to that C note, the one we just did. So, alright, so that's the pattern that we're going to be playing, and the fun part is showing you what the right hand is doing when we play that pattern. So let's bring the camera in, not the guitar, let's bring the camera in and show you the right hand of the guitar for the finger picking pattern. Let's start back on your D, with your modified D, and we're doing that suspended note, suspended, open. So the trick to finger picking is each finger plays a different string, okay? So each finger on your right hand, for the most part, is each responsible for one string. Of course, there are 6 strings and only 5 fingers, so that doesn't always hold true, but for this one it should be pretty true. So your thumb is going to be playing the low notes, okay? And then, so all the bass notes your thumb is responsible for, and then your first finger is going to be resting on your G string, and your middle finger will be resting on your B string, and your third finger will be resting on your high E. So basically we're doing a we'll do a pluck with the thumb and the third finger together. And this is while your pinky's down on the suspended note, okay? So you're holding your pinky down on your left hand, and I want you to pluck your D string and your high E string. And then play your B string with your second finger and your G string with your first finger. Okay, so let's try it again. Just pluck the top, or the high E and the D together. Then play the second fret, or the B string, G string. Now lift your pinky up on your left hand and play your chord again. Third, second, first, second, first. Now take your first finger on your left hand and place it on your C note, and use your thumb to play your A string while you pluck with your third finger on the high E. Sorry. It's the same pattern we just did, but we just moved our thumb from the D to the A, and we plucked that bass note once and let it ring. So we let it ring while we do the arpeggio with the rest of our fingers. We go to our D chord. So since we're on the D chord, we want the thumb to pluck the D string again. Get that suspended note with your pinky. Then do the arpeggio. And then one more time we go back to the C again. Is playing the A string, the thumb is playing the A string. And that's the whole pattern. So if you can get those notes, I know it's hard at first, but if you just practice that suspended thing, getting that arpeggio, you don't even have to worry about your thumb at first. If you just want to work on your top fingers, just doing the arpeggio. That's the arpeggio. Once you get that arpeggio down and you've practiced that really well, then you can worry about adding the bass notes. So that's the pattern for this finger picking lesson. Okay, so I know it's going to be a little hard at first, and your fingers are going to cramp up and your fingertips are going to hurt, and on both hands. So it takes some practice to get used to finger picking, because it's like you have to figure out what both hands are doing at the same time. So are you worried about what's this hand doing, what's this hand doing? And you just have to do it slowly at first. So you have to start slow and don't worry about it, and once you get practice the same part over and over again. Once you get to where you don't have to think about it so much, then it'll come easier, and then it's just a matter of building up the strength in your hands. So go ahead, and I hope you enjoyed that lesson, and we've got some more coming up. So thanks for joining us at nextlevelguitar.com.